For the first time in 2016 at the Festival of Speed to the RAF Red Arrows.
Leading the team, you heard his voice there, Red 1, squadron leader David Montenegro. He's in his second year as the team leader. He's a former Tornado pilot and Hawk instructor. Down to the south now, we formed our trademark shape. The jets in this shape are around 6 feet apart. They get ready with some white smoke on. Keep your eyes on Reds 4 and 5 on the outside of our short diamond.
Let it in. Out. Rolling. Out. Smoke on. Go. Apollo. Stop. Go.
Reds 4 and 5 there, pitch up to roll back rapidly into Apollo. There was a slight delay to the start of our display, due on at minute 15, quarter past 12. Unfortunately, we had to let an air ambulance land at Chichester Hospital before we could start our show, hence the 3-minute delay. So over to the north now, we've got a shape of Apollo. This was giving its name back in the 1960s when the Red Arrows were formed and NASA's Apollo program was in full swing. We've introduced this shape this year into the show to celebrate the achievements of Major Tim Peake, the first British astronaut who's just spent 6 months on board the International Space Station. In fact, returned to Earth only earlier this week. So in from the north now, the smoke is on.
Coming. Left. Now.
This is Apollo.
Hold in the bank. Now tightening.
The front right of Apollo there, you see the first of our two. Pilot and flying.
Just quickly cutting away from the RAF Red Arrows, Karun Chandok there on the hill in the Williams Renault FW13B Grand Prix car from 1990. As raced, of course, in period by Riccardo Patrese, who won at Imola that year, and Thierry Boutsen, winner of the Hungarian Grand Prix when he famously held off Ayrton Senna to win at the Hungaroring. Karun recently signed as a Williams Heritage test driver. So great to see Karun here. He's a real petrol head. Let's go back now to the RAF Red Arrows display.
Letting it out. Reversing right now.
Well, the second of our new pilots this year has in fact been a former Typhoon pilot. He is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Cy Taylor. Cy is on the front left wing of that Typhoon shape. Cy started off his career as a pilot with the Tornado GR4 Force, but then moved on to fly the Typhoon, finishing up as an instructor on the Operational Conversion Unit. Down to the southeast now, another shape is being formed, ready for a brand new manoeuvre for 2016, which celebrates the Royal Air Force's Tornado Bomber Force, the fast jet workforce of the Royal Air Force. For nearly 25 years now, the Royal Air Force's Tornado Bomber Force has been on continuous operation since the start of the First Gulf War. To celebrate that, in from the right, this is Tornado. Well, 6 of the 9 display pilots you're watching now are in fact former Tornado bomber pilots. One of them is on the front left of the 7 Arrow that 8 and 9 were rolling around, and he's Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox. Emmett's from New Zealand, but he moved to the UK in 2002 to join the Royal Air Force, becoming a Tornado pilot and instructor on the Tucano aircraft. And I believe Monica, Emmett's wife, is here with their boy Iro today, so a big hello to you guys watching Emmett display at the Festival of Speed. So over to the northeast now, we're forming another shape. Now bear in mind the pilots normally have a very stable platform, a beam Red 1's jet. But in this shape, the 3 aircraft on each wing have dropped back to the very back of the formation. And the pilots still line up parts on Red 1's jet, which is now 120 feet away from him. So the pilots work hard, trusting the jet only 6 feet away is in the right place. As you can see, coming in from the north, this is Swan.
Hold in the bank. Now tightening.
On the bottom, as we look at it, is Red 9, who is one of our third-year pilots. He's Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston. He's in his third and final year as a Red Arrows pilot. He's a former Hawk instructor. He then moved on to fly the Tornado, then back to the Hawk, this time in its new guise, the Royal Air Force's newest advanced jet trainer, the Hawk T Mark II. Continuing this left-hand turn, we formed another shape which is reminiscent of the 1960s Royal Naval fighter, the de Havilland Sea Vixen. As the smoke comes on, we're going to present our final shape of this part of the show. This is Big Vixen.
Let it out, roll it out.
On the far right of that shape as we look at it is Red 8, who's another of our third-year pilots. He's Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell, and he is in his third and final year in the Red Arrows. He's a former Tucano instructor and display pilot, and a Tornado bomber pilot, flying with number 617, the Dam Busters, before joining the Red Arrows. So the first part of the display is finished, where you've seen all 9 aircraft together forming different formation shapes. We're now going to split down into sections of 2 to 7 jets and show you some more dynamic maneuvering. So the shape of Dagger is out to the east. They're about to roll out directly towards the Festival of Speed site here. You've got Reds 1 to 5, known as Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And in the straight line at the back, Red 6, 7, 8, 9, who are known as Jippo. So get your cameras ready. Starting the second part of the display. The smoke comes on, ready for the detonator. Enid splits. Now keep your eyes on the coloured smoke of Jippo. With smoke on, north and south now are the synchro pair. Red 6 is to the north and Red 7 to the south. They've got their smoke on. They're currently flying at 1,200 feet. They're about to descend to just 100 feet above the treetops here. Their closing speed in this maneuver is 770 miles an hour. They get ready to fly their first opposition pass maneuver. This is the opposition barrel roll. The pilots leave full power on the jets. They are now turning away from us, each pilot pulling 6G in his aircraft. That means everything in their bodies weighs 6 times more than normal, including their blood, which wants to pool in their feet, so it's so much heavier. So the pilots are working hard, their G-suits have inflated, they're tensing their muscles to fight the G-force as they point towards us to fly the Cyclone. Pitching up with some smoke on to the north is Red 6, who's the synchro leader, Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve's in his 4th year as a Red Arrows pilot. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado pilot. He also flew the Harrier GR9 before it was disbanded. That's him just putting a puff of smoke on over to the left, where he's just starting his descent. Chased down by Red 7, who's doing his best to get into line astern. Now down to the southeast, we'll see Reds 1 to 5, 8 and 9, who drop down to form an inverted V shape. Get ready now for the goose.
Coming right now. Hold it, bank now. 6
That's Enid with Reds 8 and 9, drawing a fabulous red, white and blue stripe in the sky. Now looking over to the right, to the south, to find the synchro pair.
Here it's smoke off. Go, synchro smoke on. Go.
This is synchro with the shotgun.
Go. 7 roll. Go. Synchro roll. Go. 6 roll. Go. Synchro roll. Go. Oh.
Synchro rolling inverted and the right way up at different times and different directions during that fabulous shotgun maneuver there. As they clear over to the north, you need to look in that same direction to find Enid, who has been joined by red 8. They've got some red, white and blue smoke on. They're about to roll out down the line.
Rolling. Out. Watch on. Go. 3 when able. Okay, 3.
Get ready now from the left, from the north, for the revolution.
Stand by. 2, rolling, now. 1, rolling, now. 2, rolling, now.
Each of the pilots there in the revolution performing an aileron roll maneuver, essentially just a full left-hand control column input, which rolls the aircraft rapidly around its longitudinal axis. Looking to the east now, straight ahead for red 6, 7 and 9. Red 7 and 9 starting to roll around red 6 before they get ready to split. This is the vortex.
Hit. Strike. Hold up.
Once again, the synchro pair with their white smoke on, getting ready to pitch up and perform derry rolls back towards us. They fly at 1,000 feet above the site now. Max performing these aircraft back towards us to fly the double rolls. But this year, we've changed the name of this maneuver in honour of an aviation legend. Captain Eric Brown was known as Winkle, and he was a Royal Naval test pilot and fighter pilot during the Second World War. He's got a world record for the number of aircraft flown, 487 different types of aircraft. Sadly, Eric Winkle Brown passed away in February this year. So in honour of that legend, this year we're calling this maneuver the Winkle Rolls.
Go. Go.
Now looking over to the southeast to find Enid. Reds 1, 2, 3 and 5 have formed a box formation. Now the fifth jet is going to roll around them a dozen times.
Coming. Right now. Hold in the plane. Now tight.
This is the twister.
Listen in. Out. Rolling. Out.
Getting very dizzy with the red smoke on is Red 4, who's Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. Mike's in his second year as a Red Arrows pilot. He's a former Hawk instructor, Harrier GR9 pilot. Then he moved on to fly the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows last year. So that twister maneuver finishes over to the front left or to the north. Now look further north, look further left to find the 4 aircraft of Jippo.
Put smoke on. Go.
Over from the north, you see Red 6 and 7 now roll upside down in close formation. No trickery here. You can see Reds 8 and 9 are directly matching them underneath. They are flying mirror. Red 8 works hard in that position. He's flying directly beneath Red 6. He can only see around 10 inches of Red 6's aeroplane with his head cranked right back. Looking left to the north. Here come Enid as they fly the rollbacks. Enid finishing those match rollbacks down to the right, down to the south there. You need to bring your eyes further right as we spot the 4 aircraft of Jippo.
Enid, smoke off. Go, Jippo, smoke on. Go. 6, rolling, and 8 and 9. Roll, go.
This is the corkscrew.
Rolling, out.
The corkscrew finishing to the north now. Look to the southeast, right 45, and you'll see Enid.
Jippo, smoke off. Go. Enid, line astern. Go.
Red 1 calls the pilots into line astern. The smoke comes on. They now drop down top to bottom, stack 1 to 5.
Coming. Right now.
As Red 1 comes right, you see the jet swing out like a pendulum. Pilots using lots of rudder to keep in line astern. Nose to tail, separated by around 6 feet.
Reverse battle. Go. Hey. Hey.
Now, in most Red Arrows formations, the odd-numbered pilots fly on the left and the even-numbered pilots fly on the right. But in this shape, it's the other way round. 2 and 4 at the top as we look, and 3 and 5 at the bottom. But we're going to switch back to our normal sides now as we fly the slalom. Back on their normal sides in battle, as we call it. Jets around 20 feet apart with some red, white and blue smoke as Enid finish the slalom.
Left it. Out. Rolling. Out.
So now looking to the east to find Jippo.
Smoke off. Go. Jippo, smoke on. Go. Eight and 9. Roll. Go.
Reds 8 and 9 pitching up now to roll around Red 6 and 7. 6 and 7 now roll before they split in the Jippo break. With his smoke changing from red to white over on the right-hand side is Red 7, who's Synchro number 2, Flight Lieutenant Tom Bold. Tom is in his 2nd year with the team. He is a former Tucano instructor and Tucano display pilot. He then moved on to fly the Typhoon, where his primary duty was quick reaction alert, securing the skies of the UK. Now that's him on the right, to the south, chased down by Red 8. Looking left with the smoke, Red 6, followed by Red 9. Talking about the festival of the speed, these 4 aircraft now closing at 820 miles an hour for the Jippo Pass.
Oh, go.
Now looking southeast, part of our flat display, you see Enid with the red and white and blue smoke coming towards you.
2 and 3. Well. Go.
Rollbacks towards you as we fly one of our flat maneuvers. This is the Cobra.
Coming. Right now.
Look carefully at the back of Enid's jets. You'll see a big panel hanging down. That is the air brake, and we put that out to create drag and slow the aircraft down. What that means is that you have a higher power setting to maintain speed. The higher power setting makes the engine burn hotter, and that gives us a very deep colour in our red and blue smoke. The smoke is just diesel fuel that is injected into the aircraft's 400-degree engine exhaust. That makes it vaporise, and to get the red and blue, we add a dye to the diesel. North and south now for the Synchro pair, closing at 800 miles an hour. They're going to cross 3 times in their final manoeuvre in 360-degree 6G turns. This is the Carousel. Pulling 6G once again as they go outbound. They're going to cross at the back. If you watch carefully, you'll notice that at this cross around the back, the pilots are going to swap their smoke colour from red to blue and vice versa, using the individual colour control buttons on each of the aircraft's control columns. And when they switch round the front, they will go back to white smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, for their final cross in the carousel, they've been the synchro pair. Now looking directly to the east, we'll find Enid being joined by Reds 8 and 9 as we get ready for the displays finale. Red 9 is just joining onto the left-hand side of the formation, which is called Vixen. The white smoke comes on. They're running directly towards the site here, flying at over 350 miles an hour as they get ready to fly the final manoeuvre of the display, the Vixen break.
Season down. Red.
You've been watching the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows.
Well, as ever, a wonderful display by the RAF Red Arrows. So our big thanks to the RAF Red Arrows. Wonderful display as usual.
Guys, Mad Michael Dett here, Red Bull Pro Drifter.